Hey everybody, it's TV Ben. We are doing a podcast type of a setup today. We're going to talk to my good buddy, Troy Taylor, who is here from the Basement Arcade in Concord, North Carolina. So we wanted to talk about a few things. We thought we could do a sit down and maybe discuss operating a pinball route, basically, having machines out at locations. Obviously, Troy would have some at his location. I have some at his location. I've got some at a couple other places, but the do's, don'ts, what works, what doesn't, of that. So welcome.
Yeah. Well, I'm your first guest.
This is first guest ever, and maybe only guest ever. But so I think we were talking before we started recording about you were responsible for me.
Yes.
I was into arcades. I had played pinball. My grandfather had a pinball machine when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But I wasn't into them. Obviously, like you can see behind you now, we're in the pinball room upstairs.
Nine
in here
pinball machines
somehow
in this room.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense. You had to push Metallica back.
I had to push it back so you could sit. Yeah, you're sitting where Metallica would be.
Someone has a problem.
I said that in one of my other videos. I said, if you ever wanted to know I had a problem, then this is...
it could be worse.
At least you can still walk through here, and they can all be played, so it's not that big of a deal.
Yep.
But, so I was into stuff, and I had that play choice, I think, around the time...
Did you really?
Yeah, around the time you had... So the story was, you had asked me to borrow one of your machines to keep it for you because you were moving.
Yes, I had to stage my house, and I needed to get it out of there. Honestly, I think it would have been better. It would have sold faster with the machines in there.
Well, that's what I said before. It was like, wouldn't people think this house is like cooler?
Like, does this come with pinball machines?
It's like they've got their own arcade in here. But so you had like what, 4 around that point, right?
I think so, yeah. And I think I had you take one and some Justin
Whitewater for Justin
and World Cup Soccer. I think.
What'd you do with your 4th one?
I don't know, man. It's just a blur. I think you had the NBA Jam Tournament Edition, which
I had that. Yeah,
amazing.
That's true. So I did have to house that, but
and I don't really like arcade games that much. But
that's still awesome.
That cabinet was great.
Yeah,
it was actually dedicated tournament,
which was rare.
Yeah.
But so it was a Dracula, and it's also my favorite game anyway.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if it's because of that or if it's just because it's that good.
Yeah.
But I still think, I don't know. But
it's brutal. It's a brutal game.
I like brutal. Yeah. Well, Iron Man, Black Knight's brutal.
Yeah.
Tron, not as brutal as I recall it being. I don't know if I'm a better player now. It's not a braggy type thing. But No Fear's brutal.
No Fear is,
Metallica's brutal. So I do like the brutal stuff. But anyway, point being, we'll do like the Batman thing. Like, you made me. You made me first. But yeah, you were the one that kind of got one in my house and made me realize how
I was the Coke dealer who gave you the free sample.
You supplied. The first one was free.
You want some Coke? You just snort it, and then all of a sudden you have like a whole bunch.
Well, and then Pinbot, you had bought a Pinbot during that time, and then I ended up buying that.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
So I actually bought my first game from you.
Funny story on Pinbot. I had rebuilt the flippers at Justin's house because he had it for a little while. Yeah. And I put the flipper pole in backwards, so it wasn't activating the EOS, and it burned up the flipper coil. Only time I've ever done that.
Well,
yeah, that was interesting. And so it actually really does work. Yeah,
it does.
Yeah.
Are those the ones that have the capacitor on them?
Yeah,
yeah.
I think so.
So they got that going.
Yeah, that whole era.
So with that, you made me. I bought my first game from you, and then this all started. But then, you had the idea of going out and doing your business like, what, 8+ years ago or even more?
Oh, yeah. I've always wanted to do a arcade bar.
Yeah.
But I didn't think it would be a good business plan. I didn't think it would do well.
Well, at the time, the people weren't ready for it.
Yeah,
at
I
that
don't
point
know.
in time.
I mean, maybe because barcades were already rolling up in New York and
yeah,
stuff.
but here it still wasn't.
That's true.
Still people are like, you can still get a pinball. Well, we still get that. You can still buy them new. And of course you can.
There's like almost too many manufacturers.
Yeah, it's gotten too big almost now. But
Lance is like, we need another one. No, Lance, that's it. That's all we need.
No, we don't.
You're gonna flood out the market like it did back in the late '90s.
Yeah, I think we're about to hit that cap anyway.
Yeah.
But so with that, when you did jump and do it, then you were all in, and so we learned together. You asked me in the beginning to join you to help get some games in there. So we both had
yeah.
not operated games. We didn't know.
Yeah, we were just like figuring stuff out as we went.
And we learned what worked, what didn't work.
Exactly. Like older Data East, no.
Yeah, that's why. That's why this is
Jurassic
right here.
Park and Tales from the Crypt.
And they're fine
Great
games. Yes, they just are. They're too old.
I love them. And
can't
like if
stand up
you
to it.
really just went in there and just read everything, that's fine. But buying them and throwing them in a location, it's probably not a good idea if you want them to earn money.
Well, and you know, like you look at a lot of the Williams games, they probably there's guesses of those having 80 to 100,000 plays on them by the time people get them home. They're still fine.
Yeah,
they need stuff, but it still seemed like these had more of a drop off, and they're fine for a home environment, but not not for out there 12 hours a day.
I think just like the trough switch situation and all of that stuff always gave me problems with Jurassic Park and stuff.
And this one, flipper issues and
same thing on
scoop
Jurassic
issues.
Park.
All the... Now, got another flipper issue again, but anyway, not what we're talking about.
But in home, totally fine.
In home, fine.
Yeah.
So we learned, Data East, not so much. Sega,
Sega,
not
stay
so
away
much.
from. I had a Batman Forever, and that was like a nightmare. I mean, it's a cool game.
Well, you also had that weird dot matrix in it.
Yeah, there's like a weird dot matrix in it, but
it had like power issues with that. And
I don't know. I think the game itself is just not a great game.
Yeah, it's not the best.
No.
It's got some cool shots, but no, we're not like throwing off on the manufacturers, but just saying, what works. Like
back in the day, that worked.
If we had somebody watch us that was interested in doing this, and kind of understanding what if you're gonna do one with these older games, you're gonna be working on them. Yeah, you can do
absolutely,
it. But they're gonna be down a lot. But no, we learned early on new sterns. I don't know why. We said this the other night, just talking off camera.
Yeah. They're fantastic.
Everybody acts like they're crap.
I don't know why.
And
like
I don't know.
Like I have bought a ton of new in box. You have as well.
Fine.
Like maybe out of the box a couple adjustments.
Well, Metallica, you helped me with that back when I got it. We had to push the lane guide down a little bit. That was it. But these people getting all upset about like they work. They really do work, and they stand up on 8 hours a day, 12 hours a day.
Oh yeah.
Older Williams games.
They don't
do bad.
I've got a Dracula. I've got a Fast Break. You've got an Addams Family in there.
They've been fine. What did we have? Addams Family late last year had a switch in the swamp went bad.
Something like that.
The solder, the wire came off. We just had to resolder the wire. Yeah. That was it.
Yeah.
There was no.
I'm surprised like that.
The game was what, 92?
Yeah.
They're 28 years old now.
I do have a Slugfest pitch and bat.
Yeah.
People love it, but I would get rid of it if people didn't love it. But I mean, with that being said, it's a great game. It holds up fairly well. I've had to replace the flipper mechanism or the pitching mechanism.
Oh yeah, I remember that
a couple times. Like one time it was $85.
I remember that one. You weren't even talking.
And I replaced it, and then like it went bad again, and then it was $185. I was like, what? So I think they're almost out of these things.
Yeah, I think they've probably. I remember that day I was at the bar and you were just not talking. Like you need help. You're like,
no, I hate this.
I think I left and got some food.
Yeah,
like, I'll just leave him. He'll be all right. But so Williams stuff does good. Jersey Jack for the most part, it's not as good. But Stern. Yeah. You buy a new Stern inbox, you're going to be fine to put that out there.
Make a couple adjustments. I mean, here's the thing.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to work on games, don't buy games.
Good point. Like, or start learning when you do buy it.
Exactly, and that's how we've learned. You know, like you start like digging under the hood and trying to figure out what's wrong and like get mechanical, and then it starts making sense. But it's like I don't understand these people that collect like
and just give up. Yeah,
and then they're just like, I don't know how to fix these games.
Well, and there's stuff. Yeah, I know there's a curve of electronic knowledge and stuff, but the basics,
I'm
just
an idiot.
Basic stuff. You're not. You're not an idiot. Successful idiots don't run their own business.
Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah, no, they don't. But it's not like you're in there. You're not having to resolder an entire board, or this is basic. Like adjusting switches and gaps and just simple stuff. But people just
learn as you go.
They don't want to know. But you got to want to do it. And I'm sure I had a while there with, especially before COVID, where I was working a lot and it just kind of got it got a little bit every now and then where I just but it was like it was a job. It wasn't. Yeah. It's not always fun, and there was a couple times where it's just like, oh, I don't feel like.
Well, it's like you're coasting and everything's going great.
Yeah, and then
one day everything.
Yeah, you could have 2 or 3 games have an issue real quick, or you know, and we when you were open before everything, I remember there was a couple nights we were down there at like when you closed at midnight, waiting for everybody to get out. It was 12:15, 12:20, and then starting to work on the game, and it'd be 1:30, 2 o'clock.
I know, it flies by.
Oh, you'd be tired. You'd have to go home. You had to go to work the next day. Yeah. Well, I did. Yeah. Well, you did for a while too.
For a while, yeah.
When you did the double life, but no, it's so there are rewards in. I always still say it's great when you go in there and see a game being played. You know, like that's my game. Like especially when we first started, they were ones from our house, and we saw what we had in our house out there being enjoyed, and that was actually really cool. The money side has never been a big thing for me. I've only made enough usually to buy one new game a year to put out there. Yeah, and it's a labor of love really, but there was joy in just seeing a kid walk in and playing whatever game it was, but.
Unless he's flipping the flippers.
If he's like no. If they're doing the monkey flips, I do hate that. I know they were built for it, to do that, but it's going to wear out.
The US switches are on right.
That and the coil stops are going to wear out. But it's still they were made
the $2 coil stops that everyone complains about.
Yeah, the Stern $2 coil stops, and also if you're listening, my camera on. Yes, if you're listening. They're $2 coil stops on the new Sterns. Stop making a big deal out of it.
And you should learn how to switch them out.
It's good practice. Yeah,
because you'll probably have to switch out the.
You should switch out the balls. Yeah, that's when you get a new Stern. You should go ahead and just have.
I don't always do that. I know you give me junk about that.
The new ones haven't been as bad. Like 5-6 years ago, they were really bad. But switch out the balls. Get new coil stops. They're $2. Yeah. You're putting $100 worth of lights or a stupid topper on there that doesn't go with the game. You can spend a couple of bucks.
I've done that.
Rant, yes, but rant over. Everybody gets so upset about Stern's quality with that.
Easy. It's easy.
Nothing.
It's so easy.
Yes. So what are we saying? Coil stops. Oh yeah. No, and I know even when I'm not around, which is 90% of the time at that place, there's another kid doing it, and I'm just not seeing it.
Oh yeah.
And they work.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. But it is really cool seeing something out there and seeing it being enjoyed and the way it was intended, not locked in a house where I had to move one to record a show.
Yeah, and they're built to get abused. Luckily, ours don't get abused.
And there's rules.
Yeah, we definitely have rules.
And you've had a few people do that and gotten tossed. But so all right, we've talked about what you need to expect, what manufacturer does well. And we're not talking bad about manufacturers, but one last step, we would not put a spooky game in a location at this point. No. It's not worth the money, and it's not worth the repair. We've heard enough about that from other operators.
Yeah, I've heard stories.
Yeah, fine for a home environment, but
oh, absolutely,
they're not ready for prime time on a location.
Honestly, I just traded my Jersey Jack Pirates away, which was my favorite game.
Yep. Remember when you almost sold it to me?
I almost did. Yeah. And then I was like, before COVID. Yeah. But then the prices were going so far up, and I was like, you know what? If I can a Stern Pirates and switch it out, and then get a buttload of cash,
which I think is a better game. I know that's not actually the popular opinion, but
pretty awesome.
It's a really good game.
It's it's less is going on.
Well, it's fun. The music's good.
And the Jersey Jack Pirates didn't do that well on location because people would walk up to it and they had no idea what the heck's going on.
I still don't know what I'm.
You have all those characters you have to pick, and you're like. That's
and then the cons, the pros, what does he do?
But in the home, I would definitely get another one. If they ever re-ran it.
I don't think I would. I'm actually glad that you didn't sell it to me.
Yeah.
But I wanted it it's a beautiful game.
Yeah.
And there's no question about that.
Yeah. If they fix the playfield issues and they rerun it, I will probably get another one.
Okay. Well, but for me, it was beautiful. It was. Yeah. It wasn't my cup of tea, but.
But it's like with the Jersey Jack stuff, I'm going to hold off for a little while, and they're a great company. Yeah. But I had a bunch of issues with a Hobbit, as you know, my second Hobbit, and customer service were nice as can be.
I remember that.
I was talking to him every day, and it's like
he'd forget who you were.
I had switched everything out that was wrong, that could have been wrong, and except for the motherboard.
Wonka lock or the whatever lock that is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
The gobstopper lock. Yeah.
So other than adjusting that up, that's and the flippers. We adjusted the strength on those.
Yeah, and
I rebuilt them once.
You remember
already.
the C clip on the plunger was off, and then it just came apart. It's like, what the heck?
And when I unboxed it that day, they sent me a European power cord.
Yeah.
So luckily, well, having other machines and being a computer nerd and everything else, I had a second power cord that I could actually use. But like, what would you have done? And like, if you were not.
Well, just think if that was a Stern, like how much they would have got for that.
Yeah, well, then they wanted me to send them pictures and all this, and I was like, "No, I'm
the wrong cord.
I'm fine. I don't need. Just send me another cord." But I never got it because I never. I didn't push that far. It was like they wanted me to do more work than it should have been.
I mean, is it just a computer cord, pretty much?
Pretty much.
Oh, okay.
But it was just the fact that it was. It was wrong.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it'll be interesting because they moved. To Chicago,
which they're clearing out all those parts and stock and
so it'll be interesting if they kind of get their act together with that stuff. The only thing I don't like about Jersey Jack, and we were talking about this the other day, is Williams had like the WPC 95, System 11, the whole grouping of machines where you can switch stuff in and out to like troubleshoot games that you already have, and especially as an operator, it's been great. So I have Wizard of Oz, you have Wonka.
Yeah.
I had Pirates.
None of it
I had Hobbit.
Yeah.
All the light boards were different.
Yeah.
They use different power supplies. I think some of them use the same motherboards, and it's like
I don't even think I think with Wonka,
I haven't had any issues with my Wizard of Oz. But going back to operating, so I'm operating with you now, actually, because you had a couple games at Red Hill Brewery across the street.
Can we see that? Yeah. That's So we had done that. What was that last Labor Day, right? Where we moved them on Labor Day, I think. So that was, he had reached out to you for some games. I had a couple spare sitting around. Well, we cleared a couple out of the place, of your place.
Yeah.
And put them over there, which in the beginning, and not saying anything bad, but they haven't done.
Oh.
If I was relying on that for income, I'd be screwed.
Yeah.
It was just another labor of love of, okay, well, every now and then somebody was playing them, but that game, well, in a week, it's going to be a year, right? So
I think so. But that's the thing, like with putting games out on location.
Yeah, you never know.
If you put it out on a location that people aren't going to play games, they're not going to do well. So you have to make it a destination. So this past week, I moved 6 more games over with your 2 games. So there's 8 over there.
Yeah.
And since I can't be open right now, I wanted to make it a destination so people know you can go there and play pinball machines and, get some of their beer that's at the brewery. But I think they actually did pretty well this past weekend. I'm going to go check on Tuesday.
But you need to sneeze?
No.
Thought you were leaning back to. Thought we had a problem. We need to stop down on production. But even since Corona, I wouldn't have figured, and that was the biggest crowd I've seen.
Yeah.
In a while there, and not just drinking beer, but playing pinball.
Yeah.
Was there a point where every game was being played, I think when I walked in?
Something like
maybe
that.
everything but Simpsons, I think, when I walked in. So 7 out of the 8 were being played.
Yeah, and Lance said there was like a good crowd yesterday.
It's fantastic because that's really what we want. I mean, yes, the money is necessary for you as a business, but to get the exposure out there and to share the passion of, it sounds so stupid, like we're just a cult or something, but we obviously have a passion for this. Okay. Yeah, but look, we've got and Troy had you had at your other house where you had them upstairs and moved them downstairs, and it's work. But we're getting the message out there that this stuff's fun, and it's good that you're able to actually help. Well, Red Hill and yourself helping each other.
I think that'll get more people in for them.
You're actually got making some money off of these games because you've been closed since what, the
March
15th, 20th, somewhere in there.
Yeah, mid-March.
Yeah, right when they finally signed the order.
Yeah.
So
today
is August 23rd, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
I think so.
Yes, I had to look down.
But no, Chris is great. He's doing a great job.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
He spaced everything out properly. So he's got rules with the masks. You know, we got to wear a mask while you're playing.
Yeah.
Got to wipe down the machines when you're done. You've got hand sanitizer there.
So what else do we want to cover here? So yeah, we've talked. You made me, I made you, whatever.
Yeah.
We operate games. We know what works. We know what doesn't work. Your new venture with being closed and also getting into Red Hill, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't know. What else? Is there anything else we could talk about or should talk about?
I don't know. Like,
or do we want to save it for episode 2?
We could do episode 2. That could be like just...
that could be the teaser, the cliffhanger into episode 2. Well, it depends.
Then we're going to talk about next week.
Next week on the TV Bin podcast. Yeah, I mean, this is something I was wanting to try. You know, I know I have fun doing the YouTube stuff.
Can I be your second guest?
Yeah, you'll probably be my only guest.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Teaser for next thing we should talk about. The custom code for Jurassic Park.
Oh, right. That's something else we almost shot the other night. Yeah. And then I realized, do I want to go to all the trouble?
Pretty amazing.
Yeah. So who was the guy on? It was Pinside guy, right?
Yeah, but I don't think I'm supposed to divulge any information. Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, there's code out there that does the original movie audio.
Yes. Yeah.
And you have it.
Yeah. It, you know, we always joked about the voiceover on that is terrible.
We joked on the first video we did. Yeah. It was like, is Samuel Jackson okay with this representation of himself? It's
horrible.
Yeah.
Great game. Probably my top 5 game.
Well, theory was also it's the same guy doing all the voices.
Doing all the voices. Yeah.
He's switching between. He's like, which one? Which one?
Yo, get up. Hey, good.
Yeah, it's like Australian accent or Samuel Jackson.
Mate.
Yeah.
Get that Brachiosaurus.
Why would he do that?
Wait,
I was supposed to be Samuel Jackson there.
Oh, yeah. Dang it. It doesn't matter at this point. Yeah. But no, that code is amazing. We just talked about it, so
maybe, and again, if we could edit some interest.
And just where I said we're going to talk about the code and then splice it into the next video, and then we won't have to talk about it.
It is like a throwback, like a tease throwback. Yeah, we can do that.
But we'll have to wear the same clothes.
That's not a problem.
I have a lot of black t-shirts.
I've got a lot of black and blue t-shirts. It's I went nondescript.
We should switch. So you'll switch it back and forth, and then you'll have the black t-shirt. I'll have the blue t-shirt, and then once we switch back,
do we do a prize based off like somebody figures that out? We're not doing a prize. I've got the laptop in front of me, and that's why I keep looking down because I'm having to change here. See what I'm doing here? I have to keep changing the camera angles or the camera shots. So I'm punching this show as we do it.
Yeah,
I'd love to do more of these. I hate doing the whole like, we'll say down below if you want me to do more, but I think the views will show us. Do we want
I'm
more? I'm
gonna troll you.
Or that. But
worst podcast ever.
And that's the other thing. I also want to take this and use it as a podcast for this type of stuff, not the gameplay ones. But I don't know. I was researching the other day. I don't know what other than Apple stuff, what's the best place to post a podcast at, like SoundCloud, or I was reading about all these other sites, and so that I will ask for help for. So if you know or have a preference on what is better, I don't really want to go the iTunes route. I'd rather keep it off of iTunes. So if you know what would be better or have one you like already, then that would be a comment down below.
All right. So what did we learn from today? Operating.
We learned history.
Yeah.
We really didn't learn your history.
Yeah.
I know your history.
I'm clone.
Do they wake another one up if you go down?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh okay. They're like Hitman or something.
Yeah.
They have a bunch of clones.
Yeah. I wake up.
Yeah, we could cover that one too. I know your history on you bought games early, eBay, and parts. What parts do we have on hand? What do we try to keep? What can you wait on? You're not going to obviously have certain things sitting there all the time until you need it, but there are certain things you do need to have on hand. So we can do a whole lot of stuff on this, but only if there's interest.
That's true.
And where do I post this as a podcast at?
Yeah.
And I don't know. So I appreciate you wearing your hat and coming on over here and getting through the sea of dogs.
Yep.
To come upstairs and no, this is what I set this up yesterday, goofing around, and then I was like, oh, let's do this.
I gotta play Black Knight while I'm here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Sword of Rage.
All right, where are we at? We're at 36 minutes. So
whoa. I would have shut it off by now.
Would you?
Yeah.
Well, good thing you're in it and not
6 minutes and I'm done.
Well, if it's something interesting.
I'm just kidding.
You were surprised that we were talking and it was 36 minutes.
Yeah,
so you enjoyed your conversation?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So thank you to Troy, my friend Troy. Thank you. We'll see how this goes and we'll talk to you next time.